chapter 3 of LEKKI Headmaster. We are going to continue our chapter by chapter review of the book. If you have not watched chapter 1 and 2, I will attach the link somewhere, or you can ask me to give you the link of chapter 1 and 2 of this book, LEKKI Headmaster by Mr. Garba, which is for JAMB candidates. So what we'll be doing in this video is just reading out for you chapter 3 of the book and also reviewing it, like giving you a summary of the book. Before we start reading chapter 3, let me tell you what happened in chapter 1. We have been talking about Mr. Beppo Adewale, the principal of the school, Stardom Schools, in a place called Lekki in Lagos State, Nigeria. So he had the opportunity, he was told to relocate to the United Kingdom, but he did not want to relocate. That's why he was crying in assembly. So in chapter 2 was when he now opened up that his wife, who is a nurse in the UK, has now told him to relocate, but he didn't want. In this chapter 3, we'll now be looking at some of the things he has heard, some things he heard about those that migrated, some tales, some stories about those that have moved from Nigeria and some other African nations to other countries like UK, US, and some other countries. Okay, so just follow, ensure you watch this video from beginning, from chapter 1 to from this moment to the end of this video, because at the end of this video I'm going to share with you, tell you how you can get a copy of this book. If you don't have a copy of LEKKI Headmaster and you want me to send you the PDF, you can also let me know, but it will be at the end of this video. I will share with you how you can get it. So let's go and read up chapter 3. So after Beppo had finally made up his mind to relocate to the UK, like I just told you, he decided to pay attention to tales emanating from foreign lands, especially Canada, United Kingdom, and the United States of America. Right? In terms of remuneration, he always knew that payment there could be hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly, unlike in Nigeria, where one-time salaries were a feature of white-collar jobs. He liked the idea of hourly remuneration. It would make job schedules flexible, offering the employee an opportunity to change jobs as often as he could. On the part of the employer, he would be able to closely monitor the worker. It neutralizes the Yoruba proverb that says, okay, if you're a Yoruba person, you can be able to read the proverb. I'm not Yoruba. That is, what that proverb means is whether an employer records gain or not, the employee will yet take home his full pay. The pragmatic wage salary, he thought, must be one of the ideas contributing to continued growth of the developed world. So one of the things he heard about another country, the United Kingdom, is that payment can be hourly, it can be daily, it can be weekly, it can be monthly. Okay. A friend of his who lives in the US told him one could earn between $1,500 and $2,500 per day, depending on the nature of the job and the location. He learned that one could work up to 4 days a week. If that happened, Beppo and many others who dreamt about Japa could earn up to $2,400 a month. They would quickly multiply that by what the prevailing 1,600 rate naira and arrive at what became a comparatively big sum of money. What such people often forget, however, was the fact that they would live and spend in dollars in the US or pounds in the UK, paying rent, taxes, and maintenance and others in the hard currency they earned. Yet they felt whatever remained, if sent back home, stay translated to good sum, which many Nigerians could not afford to save. Also, I hope you are following. Just follow me. When you also read the book, you'll be able to jot down the facts better, but let's just read on. Also, Beppo gathered there were people who earned far more than $150 or even $250 daily. This suggests there would be more to remit home or exchange to naira later. He was told that cab drivers earn better than people who worked in stores or toilets. He found instructive the story of a Nigerian who switched from driving to maintenance. The guy knew a bit of carpentry and was eventually invited to a maintenance job in the U.S. He earned $500 daily. Beppo marveled at the thoughts of converting the sum of naira. That meant up to 800 naira daily. His survey further revealed that skilled work was among the best options for anyone in any of the country's choice. What could be more as inspiring than receiving, say, $100 per head if you are a barber? Okay, I hope you are following. So he's just reviewing things, the way things are done in the UK, US, Canada, and other countries. The relocation bug had caught on in the country in the past few years. Nurses, doctors, and other health workers said to be enviably remunerated had been migrating at an alarming rate. Even the government, as Nigerian government, considered that up to 1,000 of the country's 3,000 doctors were migrating annually. Besides this, other people were leaving from all walks of life. So many people, even you watching this, might also want to japa when you are done with school. The fact that the education visa largely allows students to travel with their spouses and children made such people become desperate. Guys sold all they could to pay for accommodation, fees, and sundry requirements. This included houses, land, cars, as well as office and home furniture. There were indeed cases of some who sold what did not belong to them, so that they could rightly be called the criminals they were. Some took loans from various sources and fled before full payment. Right? Others paid back later from the countries they secretly relocated to. Yet, there were some that never even bothered to look back. Classical rogues. Okay, remember what that we are saying, talking about the story of Mr. Beppo. Beppo could attest to some of these crooked practices from his experience at Stardom. Remember, I told you that the name of the school he is currently the principal was Stardom Schools, and he worked as HM of that school for 4 years in the nursery and primary section before becoming the principal in the secondary section. There was the celebrated case of Mr. Nko, who took a 2 million loan from the school's cooperative and 2 days later disappeared into the Japa air, wind. Also, one of the school's drivers who attempted to steal the school bus in his custody confessed to the police he wanted to sell it and use the proceeds to send his son to college abroad. Beppo credited Shora, another young Nigerian in diaspora, for giving him a fresh perspective on life in the UK, United Kingdom. About 6 months earlier, Shola was the home economics teacher at Stardom. She was on sick leave when she and her husband landed in the UK. She had called Beppo a day after they arrived in London and confided in him. They were a little close. Beppo had helped her when she faced sacking for setting up a crèche in the vicinity of Stardom Schools. Okay? Let's just go on. So Shola was telling Beppo, the principal, your kind of location is the most convenient, sir. She reassured Beppo during one of their phone conversations. Since your wife is here already, working as a nurse, you will have little or no stress settling down. I do not know how her cadre and where she works, but nurses and other health workers are largely well paid in the UK. Also, you will not be burdened with having to work to pay your wife's school fees, as many spouses do here. In many cases, the husband works while the wives go to school. As for me, I am working while my husband is pursuing his master's. He also works for some hours. Anyway, you will work, but not under much pressure. That is, hoping Madam cooperates with you. By Madam, he's talking about Beppo's wife. If you don't know Beppo's wife, please watch chapter 2 of our review of the book. Another thing that makes your coming easier is that you are not borrowing your way through. Or are you? Beppo replied in the negative, revealing he had actually found a teaching job in the UK. That is what I am saying, Shola added. My husband and I sold everything and we still had to borrow. about 4 million naira. But I don't have any regret. We have just been about 6 months here in the UK, and I have changed jobs more than 3 times. The one I just got is more promising. It will fetch me up to 200 euros daily. And lest I forget, you won't have any challenge concerning what to do in the next 2 years. Unlike spouses that are here for schooling, finding the opportunity for continued stay is not a child's play. We are all just trying out our luck. Shola said because she and her husband could not afford up to 1,500 euros or 1,000 euros monthly rent in London, they had to stay in Manchester, where they rented a non-furnished 2-bedroom apartment for 650 euros monthly. According to her, the space was not quite comfortable, but it served their immediate needs. Happily, here is not like Nigeria, where a landlord will insist you pay for a year or more in advance. We pay as we live. Gradually, we have also been equipping our home, beginning with a mattress and a small TV. The bigger the gadgets you get, the bigger your tax here, Shola said, adding that their travel by rail from Manchester to London was about 30 minutes. Okay, I hope you are following. I want you to watch this video over and over again, and also remember to watch to the end. At the end of this video, I will share with you how you can get this novel, Lekki Headmaster. I will also share with you how you can get free past questions on your first JAMB subject, and also free syllables on the first JAMB subjects you'll be writing, including use of English. 2 major factors convince many who ordinarily would not want to relocate. Pay attention. These are great infrastructure, number 1, and the opportunity for their children to enjoy quality education. There are some of the qualities that principally define developed countries. So, infrastructure and quality education, which is sometimes free. There are some of the qualities that principally, okay, Beppo knew much about this, having benefited them directly. His children, Nike and Kike, enjoyed free primary and secondary education like most other children in the UK. It was when Nike went to university that she began to pay fees. Kike was still in high school. His wife did wonderfully in this wise as she paid the bulk of the fees. Okay. Okay. Shola had a wonderful testimony. Remember, Shola was a teacher in Stardom School, right? Who is now in the UK, talking to Mr. Beppo. Shola had a wonderful testimony to share with Beppo as far as UK healthcare was concerned. Besides the fact that her children had begun enjoying free healthcare and services, they, like other children, must go for two medical checkups every month, including dental check. If a child failed to do so, the parent answered for it. So any child must go for medical checkup twice in a month. I hope you are noting these things down. The most memorable of Shola's testimony had to do with her second child, Betty, who was asthmatic. The 3-year-old has a seizure, and Shola called the emergency line 911. 2 ambulances and another car arrived at her home in less than 5 minutes. While the baby was conveyed to the hospital in one of the ambulances, Shola went in the car. The care the girl received was so impressive that the mother could not help shedding tears of joy. Betty was lucky too. Her birthday came while she was in the hospital. The mom told Beppo, "You need to see how doctors, nurses and everyone showered Betty with gifts. My daughter admitted she never had such a birthday before." So these are tales of what happens in other countries, UK, Canada and United States. Also, plans by some of the couples who migrated together sometimes crumble like a house of cards. Such was the case of Hope, an accountant. She applied for and secured admission for a master's. His wife joined him in the UK to work and earn the money that will see him through, the way Shola and her husband did. But barely 4 months after they landed in London, Hope began studying. The wife of Hope refused to keep sponsoring him. Okay. Okay. In one of the recent migration tests, Rike, a woman who arrived in the United States in less than 3 years, was able to buy 2 houses in Ibadan, while another man from Ekiti, who has been in the U.S. for 20 years, has come back empty-handed because of his wife. I will not be paying a dime as school fees for my children till 2027. That is when my first son will go to a university. But for now, all three of them are in foundation schools, where qualitative and free education is guaranteed, Rike declared. She also invited 2 of her sisters to the U.S. for the visa problem Wemimo, her brother and parents' last born, faced. He would also have joined them in God's own country. She hoped to invite them as soon as he overcame the hurdles. Okay? But compare Rike's case with Akindele, who will not even invite his daughter. 7 years earlier, he migrated to the U.S. age 55. He was invited by a U.S. citizen he met at a media company where he once worked in Lagos. He and his wife, married for 18 years, had just divorced. They had 3 children, aged between 16 and 10. Akindele eventually got permanent residency in America, living thereafter with his new woman. His first job was freight loading, followed by correctional service. He said the latter job was relatively less hectic than offloading large packets from trucks. Yet, he added that being a correction center officer was not a tea-party thing. Imagine sitting down alert for 12 straight hours, Akindele told Ige, a friend who was also dreaming to japa. There is no easy job in America. Oyibo man does not want to know whether you are young or old. You will work for every dime. You get dollars per second, and you do not work, and you do the work per second. I always pity some older Nigerians here. Did you know that some of our people who retired at some senior levels, including as permanent secretaries, still work here, come here to work? I have seen 70-year-olds who migrated from Nigeria, ending up as casual workers in America. You would find an elderly man shaking like a leaf, tossed by the wind, and he tries to sort maize or whatever he does. That does not concern the Oyibo man. You want to earn the dollar, you must be prepared to work for the cents. Okay, I hope you are following. Akindele said he could not yet invite any member of his family, especially his children, because he needed time to fine-tune the plan with his wife, who was his host. He added that there was also the need to first solidify one's financial base before bringing on dependents. So this is the case. What we have been reviewing in chapter 3 is just stories that happen abroad. Okay, if you want to get a copy, if you want me to send you a copy of the Lekki Headmaster, which is not free, you just need to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Noble Tutorials. Just 3 things you need to do: like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, just click on subscribe, then share this video. When you do these 3 things, come under this video and type I have subscribed. Once you type I have subscribed, I will now reach out to you and see how to send those materials to you. We can send you past questions for free. We can send you syllabus for free. We can also send you the Lekki Headmaster, which is not free anyway. Go ahead and watch chapter 1 and 2 as you have watched chapter 3. Then also watch chapter 4, because we are reviewing this book from the first chapter to the last chapter. See you in the next video.